Honorable members, prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this parliament of the youth government system of the International Youth Network for United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the youth president and his youth ministers. Endow youth members of parliament with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of this international youth network, the interests and wishes of members may be well and truly served, and that good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision for our network, fair as it might be, a network of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a network of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a network of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a network of peace, where the youth government shall rest on the will of its members, and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of the youth government system of our network, Ghana, Africa, and global. Amen. Honorable members,
Amen.
I welcome you to the third sitting of the first session of the second parliament of the youth government system of the International Youth Network for United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250. Honorable members, we'll move to the next item on the order paper, which is adoption of the order paper. Are there any changes members wish to make to the order paper? Any member wishing to do so shall raise his hand. If there are no corrections, Leader of the House.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Mine is not any maybe things to add up or subtract, except that a few recommendations, as we observe from the National Parliament and other staff, maybe being on the order paper. I know that at our level, a lot of things are not being captured prior to the sitting, so that probably we may capture the questions and the names of the questions, the name of the members who the question thereby stand in their name, so that I think with that it will give more clarity to the paper. But it's just, a few words I want to add. Knowing very well that we don't have much time to prepare to it, but maybe going forward, if we may consider it. My humble submission, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Sure, thank you very much. Any other correction or contribution to the order paper? This is not a norm in this parliament, but I think we can as well consider it, which is the introduction of members. It helps in recognizing members who are present as of that time. So perhaps after the communications, every person online can introduce him or herself for the attention of the House. So, Leader, before the questions, in the case it skips me, remind me so that I can call on members to introduce themselves.
Very well, Mr. Speaker.
So can you kindly move the motion for the adoption of the order paper?
Thank you very much, Speaker. I so move that the Honorable House adopt the order paper as a working document of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Seconder? Seconder to the motion.
Okay.
Yes, Honorable Emmanuel.
I second to the motion.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded. I now put the question to this House. All members in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor say nay. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Therefore, this order paper stands as business to be transacted for today's sitting. Honorable members, we move to communications. Honorable members, I have received a communication from the youth president. But before I read his communication, the global president of this network, Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Lillian Saliado, extends her greetings to all of you. And she is calling for your commitment to this cause and for us to keep the wheel moving. As you know, she's focused on global matters. So matters pertaining to this parliament, she's encouraging us to take it up and at where her assistance will come in. Thank you. So we'll move to the communication from the youth president of the youth government system. And I shall read as received. Dated 3rd November 2025, to the Right Honorable Speaker, the Youth Parliament of the Youth Government System. Dear Mr. Speaker, I bring warm greetings of unity, renewed hope, and shared purpose to you and all honorable members of the Youth Parliament under the Youth Government System of our network. It has been some time since last addressed this honorable house. Yet, throughout this period, our shared commitment to the mandate of this network has remained steady. We continue to uphold the guiding pillars of participation, prevention and protection, partnership and disengagement as we serve our communities and promote peace and development. Right Honorable Speaker, I acknowledge the dedication with which honorable members have continued to represent the voices of young people across our communities and constituencies. Your leadership and involvement are a reflection of the spirit of youth governance. The House stands strong because its members have remained purposeful, committed, and resilient. In the coming months, there are programs and engagements that will bring us together to deepen our collective impact, strengthen our structures, and expand our influence across the globe. These programs are being developed to enhance the effectiveness of our roles as youth parliamentarians and improve collaboration among leadership organs and empower young people to continue contributing meaningfully to national discourse. As we move forward, let us continue to strengthen the culture of dialogue, mutual respect, and responsible leadership that defines our identity as a youth parliament. Our duty remains to inspire and serve and to transform our community. Please accept my highest assurances to you. Yours in service, Signed by His Excellency Justice Harvey Delassie, Youth President of the Youth Government System of our network. Honourable members, that is the communication from the Youth President. Moving to communication from the Speaker. Honourable members, Happy New Month to you all. Today's sitting is the continuation of our business, and I'd like to update members on our activities. Right after this sitting, we'll be finalizing the third batch of names. I don't know whether it's second or third, with the list. And right after we do that, we will go ahead and share the list of committees for members to indicate their interests. And I want to encourage all members to add their name and constituency to committees of interest to them to guide the Committee on Selection in the formation of committees of the House. Honourable members, when we get there, please do not hesitate to do so, because the earlier we do it, the faster it will be to form committees of the House. As you know, this House, for other people to join, is just to join our WhatsApp group and add their name to the list. So after formation of committees, another complementary list to come to fill the vacant list. I thank you. Honourable members, moving on, I've asked that members introduce themselves. So I'll start, and then for easy moderation, I'll call out your name as I can see, and then you unmute and introduce yourself for the attention of this Honourable House. I am Amegashie-Viglo, the Speaker of Parliament. Agoha.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Gideon Julius, Youth MP for Angular constituency, and the Deputy Majority Leader for this Honorable House. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Angela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Angela Bensa, and I'm the Deputy Operations Clerk.
Thank you very much. Come.
Honorable Speaker, Kam Kwame Anani, Youth MP for Ablekuma Central and First Minority Chief Whip. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charles. Charles Adun. Okay, if he's not active, we'll move to Cyril. Okay, Honorable Charles, let's
Thank
hear
you
you.
very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I respond to the name Charles Adunu, Youth MP for Ho West.
Thank you. Cyril. Cyril Kekeli Amevo. If he's not active, they'll move to Daniel.
Hi, thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Daniel Goswe Akapo, Youth MP for Ketu South and Minority Chief Whip for this Honorable House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. My name is Emmanuel Usubuache, the Youth MP for Swami constituency, the Deputy Minority Leader for this August House.
Thank you very much. Eric.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Yes, so this is Eric. I'm the youth member of parliament for Abuakwa South.
Thank you very much. Evans.
Yeah. Good evening, Honorable House. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Proceed.
Okay, so I'm Evans Kofi Eboa, Youth MP for Asin Central constituency. Thank you.
Thank you. Hillary.
Good evening, Honorable. I'm YGS-Viglo, the second deputy speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Joseph.
Good evening, Honorable House. Please, can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. This is Joseph Payson, a youth MP for Ahanta West constituency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Odate.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm a person of Odate Phyllis Oko, Youth MP for Ayawaso North.
Thank you very much. Patrick. Hey, sorry, Patricia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Patricia Asante, Youth MP for Singano West. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Samson.
Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity. I bring you warm greetings from the good people of Afadatu South. I'm Samson Sechuafia, youth member of parliament of Afadatu South, and then I am the majority leader and leader of government business. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Tate.
Thank you, Honorable House. My name is Isaac Adinatete, the youth member of parliament for Chufuati constituency.
Thank you very much. Wisdom.
This is Wisdom, the youth MP for Ilokrobo constituency, majority chief whip, and youth interior minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cyril. Okay. Now, members, I think that's everyone online. So move to item 3 on the other paper. Questions to youth ministers. Leader of the House. Any indication which minister are we starting with?
Yes, please, Speaker. So if we could vary and take the youth minister for interior first, and then Honorable Cyril has indicated to me that because he is also equally busy with other statements that he's preparing from the press address by the youth minister for development, he would like the youth minister for what's the name, the voter region, instead to take the response of the youth minister for environment for him. So
But
if that will be the case, we can
leader,
take the youth minister for
is
interior.
the youth minister for voter region online?
I think I saw him earlier. Bless. Honorable Cyril indicated to me that he's informing him to come and then take it. So I believe
Okay.
that if he gives his response, then he'll come and take it. So for now, we can begin with the Minister for Interior while we wait until.
Okay,
If
very
that
much.
is okay.
So, Honorable Minister for Interior, kindly assume your appropriate chair. And question to be asked by the Member of Parliament for Afadjato South in the person of Honorable Samson Techofia. Honorable, you may ask your question.
Thank you very much, Speaker and the August House. I want to ask the Youth Minister for Interior to inform the House what measures the ministry and the Ghana Police Service have put in place or plan to implement to ensure professional, impartial, and rights-respecting policing during our future elections, and to further state the operational rules of engagement and enforcing protocols that will govern police conduct during polling, collation, and post-election activities, and how this will be communicated publicly. Two, you should also state steps being taken to ensure independent, transparent investigation and timely prosecution of allegations of excessive use of force or electoral misconduct by security personnel and civilians. I thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Youth Minister for Interior, your response, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members present. This is Wisdom Adams Adamte, the Youth Minister for Interior. I am pleased to respond to the question regarding measures to ensure professional, impartial, and right-respecting policies during elections. Operational rules of engagement and enforcement protocols and how communicated publicly. One, the ministry and the police have issued clear directive that in the lead up to, during, and after elections, all policing activity must be conducted in neutral, professional manner with due respect for the rights of all citizens, political parties, candidates of elections, officials, and other general public. For example, in a recent statement made by the police, reaffirmed their commitment to neutral, fair, and firm election policing posture. Two, specific protocols during polling, collation, and post-election phases include only accredited personnel, that is candidates and their agents, media observers, media houses may only enter designated collation or polling centers. Screening and restricted vehicular access will be enforced. Deployment of static security at key sensitive sites like the collation centers, electoral commission headquarters, and where the election will be declared, supported by intelligence-led operations and joint protocols. Zero tolerance for machoism, meaning uniform and non-state persons masquerading as security personnel or using intimidating tactics. The policy of the National Election Security Task Force. Crowd and vehicle control measures. Example, there will be prohibition of unauthorized vehicle within designated radius of collation centers. Motorbikes access will be restricted. A de-escalation strategy. There will be establishment of contact numbers for commanders as from the national level through the regional to the divisional level, that disputes can be rapidly referred and contained rather than escalating into violence. 3, communication to the public. The police and the Ministry of Interior have issued public statement and press briefing outlining the election security architecture, including measures above. For example, a press release on the post-election period referred to video investigation, arrest of suspects, and so on. Through stakeholder engagement. The police have engaged political parties, the media houses, civil society, and election management authorities, such as the Electoral Commission of Ghana, to familiarize themselves with the rules of engagement, public access. Toll-free numbers and information campaign have been set up so that members of the public can report security concern during and after elections. B. Steps to ensure independent, transparent investigation and timely prosecution of allegations. 1. Investigative measures. The police have set up specialized investigation teams to review video footages of election period incidents in order to identify perpetrators of violence, looting, or destruction of properties. The budget policy document of the Ministry of Interior note that following the 2024 general elections, 132 suspects were arrested and are at various stages of legal process, and a further 71 suspects were granted police inquiry bail. The National Election Security Task Force, which includes the police, has declared zero tolerance policy for abuse by security and non-security personnel, including intimidation and use of force. This sends a clear signal that misconduct will be investigated. 2. Prosecution and transparency. The arrested personnel are being brought before court, ensuring that actions are not merely administrative but subject to judicial oversight. For example, the police publicly stated that all suspects would be charged following election disorder incidents. The ministry's reporting indicates reflections in the budget statement, estimates about the number of persons remanded on bail, and so on, which provide transparency to Parliament and the public on the status of investigation. The third one, accountability of security personnel. The police have introduced measures to enhance accountability, such as increasing use of body cameras by officers, enhancing public engagement, and community policing strategies. The operational orders emphasize that only authorized security personnel should be in uniform and performing security functions during the election period. This reduces risks of misuse of security apparatus for partisan purposes. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the Ministry for Interior and the Ghana Police Service have implemented a series of measures, operational protocols, communication strategies, investigation and accountability frameworks aimed at ensuring that future elections are policed in a professional, impartial, and right-respecting manner. While these measures cannot guarantee zero incidents, they represent a clear commitment to enhancing transparency, effectiveness, and public confidence in election-related security operations. I am happy to provide the House further details on any of these protocols, timelines, or oversight mechanisms at the discretion of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, House.
Thank you very much, Honorable Youth Minister. Honorable Member of Parliament for Akwaja South. Any supplementary questions?
Speaker, thank you. I think I'm really grateful for the responses that the minister has given, except that during his response, I have point out few things that I think if he could look at them, because probably he can just comment on them, because I mean, going forward, I think it's some of the things that we need to address, because Ghana Police Service is actually now wants to be as partisan. I don't know if I should address it as partisan police service. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised to see the minister hold a press conference yesterday for us to see the report of the 2020 and 2024 election. The question is, what is the delay in the report, even if not for the 2024 election? What is the delay of the report for the 2020 election, and then each related matters that were arose, and then there is no information, no report from the CID department that to the general public, and also to address some of these things that were just popping up this week. So if the minister can just give a comment, but then I believe that going forward is we have to look at some of these things. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Youth Minister, your response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, House. I have a little response on this. Sometimes in human institutions, when power changes, all the security management personnel would want to prove some way. So I may not say it may be it is because of the past government that the security management were reluctant to release the report, and so. But I think in good governance, the security management should also be in timely to releasing report on issues regarding election violence, anything pertaining violence. So this thing cannot be. We can't blame the security apparatus much, but I think going forward, the security management and personnel have to be beefed out, so that their technologies and stuff have to be beefed out, so that anything things like election violence will be investigated and brought to the public in due time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member of Parliament for Afadyato South. Do you have any supplementary questions again?
That will be all for now, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To the Honorable Youth Minister for Interior, we thank you for coming to attend to the House. You are thereby discharged from your seat as Minister. Yes. Thank you very much. Leader of the House, any indication?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, with your guidance. But then I believe that I have the question stand in my name. However, other members may take interest in the question and may want to, with your discretion, ask few. So I think if it will be prudent, you give the opportunity to members who wish to seek more clarity in few things that that may be of interest to them before you discharge the Honorable Minister. With your guidance, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leader. Actually, what happens in Parliament is that supplementary questions are usually left to the person who asks it. On occasions that leadership might want to add, no problem with that. But when they are constituency-based, the supplementaries are limited. But in this case, if any other member might wanted to contribute on this, they would have raised their hand. I have not seen any hand being raised with respect to contributing on the response being given by the Youth Minister of Interior. So let me just ask, honorable members, any supplementary question to the Youth Minister of Interior? Raise your hand if you have a supplementary question or commentary. Well, leader, there is none. So since there is none, we'll proceed. So, Youth Minister for Interior, thank you for attending to the House. You are discharged as Youth Minister.
You're welcome, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Leader. Any indication?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So the Honorable Minister, the Voter Regional Minister, will take the response of the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation.
Okay, thank you very much. The Minister acting for the Youth Minister for Environment should take the appropriate seat as the question is to be asked. Honorable Member of Parliament for Afada to start, please ask the question.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, please, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, thank you very much. Please, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation to inform the House on the status of national enforcement actions and community level monitoring systems currently being undertaken to control A, air pollution in major urban centers, B, plastic and solid waste disposal practices. And Mr. Speaker, the one that is so dear to my heart and I take so much interest is the C, the chemical contamination of water bodies resulting from illegal mining and industrial discharge, and to further state the measures being implemented to ensure compliance, enforcement, and accountability at the local government and district administrative levels. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Acting Minister, please respond to the question.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker, and the House. Hello? Please, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your questions. So, on the issue of a national enforcement action pertaining to the air pollution in major urban centers, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA Ghana, is mandated to what? To enforce air quality standards. So in that state, Greater Accra Metropolitan Assembly has a comprehensive air quality management plan, which incorporates health recommendations and policy scenarios. So the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has a 2030 air quality response plan that includes what? Tight legislation and prosecutions, and a ban on open burning of waste. However, open burning and emission of old vehicles industry remains major issues contributing to high pollution levels that exceed World Health Organization's guidelines. So, with the monitoring actions, starts to curb all these things or to overlook them or to make sure the best practices are done. What? So the municipal and metropolitan assemblies, municipal, metropolitan, and district assemblies are responsible for local waste management. So in that accord, through the district environmental strategy and sanitation action plan, and Auditor General's report noted that many assemblies are unable to measure or report on waste generated and disposed of in their jurisdiction due to lack of resources. Community participation also in policy making is low. Residents are generally only informed of laws and policies to comply with. The waste recovery platform supported by the UNDP is a multi-stakeholder initiative to what? Integrate the efforts of the various actions, including informal waste pickets. So these are the few plans that are in place to curb all these things. So in due time, the action plans that are drawn by the ministry through the environmental protection agencies who are in play, and by the action plan of the plan, those schedules will reach where we are. So I'm giving you the full assurance that all these things will come to a stop or will be minimal in no time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Minister for Volta Region, acting on behalf of the Environmental Minister. Member of Parliament, any supplementary questions?
Um, Speaker, I don't want to bother my very good friend so much because he didn't take enough time. So I think, and then based on the response given, it's just a clear indication that we have a lot of work to do with the reports, and then the statistics that already the EPA always used to publish, which means that there's a lot of work for us to do as a nation. So I think I wouldn't bother him much with the supplementary question. So I think I'm okay. I thank you, Speaker.
Great. The Volta Regional Minister, thank you for attending upon the House to act on behalf of the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology to respond to this question. You are hereby discharged as acting minister. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Leader of the House, any indication?
Okay, Speaker, thank you. I think we can take the statements now. But just in the order of which they may come, if you can put the question, those that are ready, then we can take them accordingly.
Thank you very much. Members who wish to present statements, please write in the in-call message what you want to present the statement on, including your name and constituency, so that we can find an order to call you. But leader, I'm sure you also have a statement, right?
No, please, Mr. Speaker. I've yielded to other honorable members to take the two statements. So myself, I don't have a statement.
So who are the people who submitted their statements, or who are the people to present their statements?
Honorable Adai McLean has statements, and then Honorable the Chief Whip of the majority, Leslie David, also will take the statement on the African Youth Day, harnessing the power of the youth for a brighter future. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, were you saying the Youth Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment has a statement to make on what happened at his ministry today?
I don't have an indication though, but as the commencement at the commencement of sitting, I think he indicated to me that he will have a statement, but I don't know if he's ready though. That is why he's been mute preparing himself. But I don't know if he's ready to take it now. But for now, those that give me the clear indication, I have Leslie David, the majority chief whip, who will take a statement on the African Youth Day commemoration, which was just celebrated on the 1st of November. And then the other will be taken by Honorable Adai. So if they are on the line, then I think we can begin with them.
I can't see any of them online. Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, please take note that you'll be presiding over the debate. As Leader of the House, I don't think any of them are online.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I think then if the Honorable Minister for Youth Development is ready, as you indicated, then I think we can take his as well.
Yes, but unfortunately, he's also not online right now. So another thing for us to do is we can go ahead and take the debate, and after we're done with the debate, then we come to the statement.
Very well, Mr. Speaker. I think that's what we can do. If we could vary the order of business and then take the debate, then after that, then we can come back to statements.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable members, are you ready for the debate? Minority Leader, are you ready? Minority Leader, Honorable Isaac. No, I don't think it's...
Mr. Speaker, he indicated that he may join, but then he has given his full support to the deputy minority leader to step into his shoes to debate the majority. So I believe if the deputy minority leader is there, then I think he can also give you that indication, because the leader
This is
has
Honorable Manager. So my minority leader is not around, and he has delegated me to represent him. So I'll be taking it.
Okay. Fantastic. So, Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, are you ready? I hope she's ready, because after the motion is moved and seconded, and the majority leader starts with his opening statement, I'll call her to take the chair. Honorable Hillary, please prepare. Can I first hear from you? Okay. Well, let's just proceed with business. Honorable members, we'll move on to the next order of business, which is the motion for the day. The motion for the day. So we are now at item 5, debate on the motion for the day. I'll call on the majority leader to move the motion, and then deputy minority leader to second, before we start the debate with introductory statements. The introductory statements will be 7 minutes from leadership, then subsequent contributions will be 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, until the conclusion of the debate. Let us take note. Leader of the House, please move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think you've seen the prudence of this motion, and so you've directed and allocated about 7 minutes each for us to give our opening statements. Thank you so much. The motion is a very interesting one. As I state, quote, this Honorable House believes that the quality of education in Ghana's senior high school under the free SHS policy is showing measurable progress, unquote. Mr. Speaker, I hereby move a motion for debate on this motion. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Seconder to the motion.
Thank you, Honorable. I so second to the motion.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the debate of the House. And the motion reads that this Honorable House believes that the quality of education in Ghana's senior high schools under the free SHS policy is showing measurable progression or progress. Obviously, we have for the motion and against the motion. But during the debate, since we have not officially shared caucus, members are free to associate with any side of the motion as their conviction shall demand. Second Deputy Speaker to take the chair. Opening statements, Majority Leader.
Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to make my opening statement to the motion. Mr. Speaker, the motion before the House is quite an interesting one. And then I invite my colleagues from the minority to have this discourse on this motion without any side taking. On my side, we want to affirm the motion before the House and to say that the free SHS policy remains one of the most transformative educational policies. Yes, it has remained one of the most transformative educational policies in our nation's history. Because if data serves us right, we could look at the statistics and then see the progress the free SHS has made in our literacy sector, bringing education to the people who couldn't afford, but now the free SHS has widened to that extent of extending education without coming from a wealth background. It is indeed a policy that has transformed our nation. Mr. Speaker, it has not only widened access to education, but I think it has also contributed to measurable improvements in the quality of teaching and learning in our senior high schools. This actually has improved learning. It has improved teaching in our various senior high schools. I think when we look at access is one of the first things that I think I will speak about. When we could compare the year this policy was introduced from 2016 coming up, the data of the literacy rate in our nation's history has balloted. I'll bring you forth in my submission the percentage of literacy rates that has actually varies, or the difference between the impact on this policy, Mr. Speaker. So access to education has increased marginally, that people now have access to quality education regardless of their background, Mr. Speaker. So free SHS policy is one of the best policy in our nation's history. I don't think that when we are mentioning policies that various governments and then presidents have implemented, we could mention without pointing the free senior high schools. Mr. Speaker, I stand on the position that yes, we admit that there are a lot of work that needed to be done on the free SHS policy. And while we accept and agree to that, it is equally important that we appreciate what the free SHS has done to our mother Ghana. I myself am also a product of the free SHS. So I think it is good that I testify to the good policy that has been implemented. Mr. Speaker, talking about the quality teaching and learning, we inherited textbooks and learning resources that has been supplied to us back in school. And all these things have strengthened the educational system. We require, remember, we have past questions in the form of textbooks and all the core subjects that were distributed. All these things, talking about the curriculum, have contributed to the direction that the country is going. So when we take a look at the reforms that are coming into the educational system, the reforms talking about the subjects, uh, considering those at the younger age, and then the new government that has taken over is also proposing few reforms to strengthen this policy. So I think free SHS policy is one of the best for the country, and it is the right direction that the country is going, except that we have to claim it and make it our very own, and then strengthen its borders and make it one of our greatest policy to extend education to the people in need. One thing that I love about it most is that regardless of your background, you see, the direction is always forward, not backwards. So I want my people, my colleagues on the other side to agree with me that the free SHS is the foundation for a knowledge-driven economy. Once the foundation is being laid, no one is being denied education. This is equity, Mr. Speaker. This is equity. It is unlike the days where people don't have access to education. This is equity. So I believe that when Constitution is making provision for equity, I believe that this is one of the things through the free SHS policy we are inheriting. Mr. Speaker, let me talk about human capital development for national growth. I believe that the future competitiveness of Ghana depends on the well-educated population. It depends on the well-populated education. So free SHS is building that base, empowering engineers, empowering teachers, empowering leaders. This is a very good policy. This is a very good policy. Let's strengthen the structures, because once a nation's competitiveness in education is well structured, I believe that the foundation of that nation is being laid, and every other thing or any other thing can follow in that regard. Our forefathers were still struggling on some of the basic things that they could fight for. It does not take the intervention of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So I believe that this policy has widened the scope of education, has widened the scope of literacy. And I believe that it's one of the things that the government and all subsequent government can follow. And then we bring up legislation and strengthen the borders of the educational sector and make it our very own. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I'll say that access to formal education is no longer determined by the wealth of a family, but by the ambition of the child. So today, you see children who now are on top of issues because they have started early. You see children who now understand and argue on point with the elderly one. So I believe that with this scope of education, formal education that has been extended is yielding. So with these few words, Mr. Speaker, and I invite members to contribute to the motion without taking sides, Mr. Speaker, without being partisan about this motion. I urge all members to contribute to the motion without being partisan. Let's bring our contribution to the center. Let's debate this in a vacuum and see how best we can structure the free SHS policy, because I don't believe that there is any honorable member on the minority side that may disagree that the free SHS is not a good policy. This is not about NDC, this is not about MPP. This is about the youth. This is about the literacy rates we are talking about that may lay the foundation of our country. With these few words, I thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Minority Leader.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I am IYNUNSCR2250, the Deputy Minority Leader of the International Youth Network, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250. So tonight, we gather once again to deliberate on such an interesting motion. A motion which suggests that the quality of education in Ghana's senior high schools under the free SHS policy is showing measurable progress. Indeed, we, the minority side, we vehemently argue that this very assertion in this motion is far from the truth. Why do we say that? Let us be very, very clear with ourselves. When the majority leader was speaking, he made mention of access. Access does not equal quality. This is clearly understood. The fact that you have access to something does not guarantee its quality. Therefore, while the free SHS policy has undoubtedly increased enrollment, we can also attest to the fact that it has stretched our educational infrastructure to its breaking point, which may include but not limited to the following: overcrowding classrooms, inadequate teaching materials, and overburdening teachers. These have become the new norm, and we must call the spade a spade. We don't need to be mentioning words tonight. We must call what is right, right, and what is wrong, wrong. What measurable progress can we claim when students are actually learning in shifts, i.e. double track? What measurable progress can we actually claim when our libraries are empty and when our laboratories are mere storage rooms? These are questions you and I need to ask ourselves. We must not confuse quantity with quality. The essence of education lies not in how many students sit in a classroom, but in how well they are taught, how deeply they understand, and I can tell you how prepared that they are for the future. You cannot be mentioning words tonight. The free SH policy, though, has the right intent, a very noble intent, but you and I can attest to the fact that it has actually failed to deliver its very promises. It has actually failed to deliver quality education. Tonight, we, the minority caucus, we will demonstrate that the so-called measurable progress is just a mirage. It is just an illusion that is actually built on numbers, i.e. giving people the opportunity to have access to quality, to have access to education, not quality education. Therefore, it actually ignores the exact and the present realities of students and teachers of the country. There are a lot of cracks in our education system, Mr. Speaker. A lot of cracks. And these cracks are actually widening. And it is our sole duty and responsibility to confront these cracks with honesty. And I repeat, with honesty, and not hide behind inflated statistics. Statistics that give the rise that, just as my majority leader said, in 2016, when the PSHS policy was, was embarked on. These are the number of students that had access to education. When the presidential has been sidelined. In this debate tonight, we, the minority side, want to present evidence and arguments that actually demonstrate that the quality of education in Ghana's status, senior high schools, under this very policy is not showing the measurable progress we so highly desire. And it is not. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Tete Ajin Isaac. Honourable members, the floor is open now for contributions on the motion. Just raise your hand and I'll call you to speak. Honorable Tete.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise today to affirm our belief that the quality of education under the free SHS policy is in fact showing measurable progress. Critics predicted disaster when we open doors for SHS to all, but the facts proved them wrong. My positions rest on two measurable pillars. They are student outcomes and education equity. When it comes to student outcomes, we saw a significant and measurable jump in WASI results. The first free SHS cohort achieved an impressive 8.38% increase in A to A6 passes in English language in 2020 compared to the years before. This shows that increased access did not sacrifice quality, it improved measurable outcomes. When it comes to education equity, measurable progress means progress for everyone. The policy has successfully ensured the standardized provision of core textbooks and learning materials to every single student nationwide. This is a fundamental, measurable improvement in the inputs of education, closing the gap between the privileged and the majority. These numbers speak for themselves. We are improving both access and measurable quality. I urge this House to adopt the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the floor is open. Raise your hand if you want to speak. Yes, the floor is open, honourable members. Obviously, almost all of you here have benefited from free HSS. You have benefited since 2017. Free SHS has been instituted. So if you are here, you cannot
Including
talk about
professors.
what you have benefited from, then I'm short of words. And I'm short of words. So please, members, raise your hand to speak on free SHS. Yes. Do I have to call out people? Honorable Joseph Quason, Free SHS baby.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
good evening. Honorable Speaker, and good evening, House.
Good evening.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not a product of SHS, so I haven't benefited from SHS. All right, but Honorable Speaker, I would like to confirm the fact that free SHS has or is showing massively, in fact, measurably progress. To be sincere, you see, my honorable speaker, I think, minority leader, was talking about accessibility, and that is true. You see, some of us didn't enjoy, but at least what is good is good. It has come to stay. It is something that is going on, and our neighbors, our children. I am into education sector. I'm a teacher. I'm into education sector, and my students are enjoying, and that is a plus. You see, at first, we that were paying school fees, it's sometimes very hard for us to go to school. Let me give myself for instance. After completing JSS, I need to stay home for another year before I'll be able to continue, because I have to gather something before I'll be able to continue. But thanks to the free SHS, now students no longer think of that, the school fees that they need to go and pay. Right now, the only thing that they need to do is to pass their BEC well, and then go to the school. They will be offered admission. They will just have to buy their prospectus and stuff, and they will go. So accessibility is there. And now, Mr. Speaker, let us also talk about improve infrastructure. You see, we are saying it has made progress. We are not looking at about the establishment, but rather the progress. At first, it was only meant for government schools, but now free SHS has been open to some of the private schools that are running now. Private are also running free SHS, and this is a measurable progress. This is a progress. It's showing the fact that we are going forward. We are heading somewhere. Though we are not there to exact point we are looking for, but yet we are showing progress. The nation as a large is showing progress when it comes to free SHS. So it has now make education accessible. My brother from the other side was talking about it is make something accessible doesn't mean quality. He hasn't enjoyed some, or he doesn't know anybody who is enjoying some. Now we say it is quality because now the students are being provided tablets for them to learn, and this is quality. We are in AI world. We are in technological generation, and everything is changing, moving. Just as other nations are doing it and they are there, Ghana, we have also started, and we're also going there. So I believe the fact that the free SHS policy in Ghana now is making measurable progress. Now the students are now being offered tablets in order to study. They are being taught how to learn online, how to offer courses online. At least it will how do you call it, decrease the stress of after school, just staying home, you don't know what to do. Now, after school, the students will be able to at least access some of the courses online and also do. Others are obtaining their masters, their PhD online. So it is something that they are now teaching them in school, and this is progress. It's making progress. We can also say we have a stable academic performance. Stable academic performance. My honorable just spoke about it, that comparing 2019 their results and 2020 results for secondary schools, there was a much progress, and from there we can see more progress coming on from our days. We are yet to receive 2024 outcome. So we can still see that there is a progress going on. In as much as there is a progress, doesn't mean there is no how do we call it, disadvantage. You see, anything that has come to stay as a policy has its own pros and cons. And we believe the fact that as a nation, as we work together, the Ministry of Education, the GES, working, and the government as a large, working with the aim of providing accessibility of schools to all Ghanaian students, I believe we will get there, and one day we will all laugh. I know my children will enjoy. So if I didn't enjoy, my children will enjoy. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Honorable member.
honorable member.
Yes, honorable members, the
Yes,
floor is
honorable
still
members, the
open.
floor is open.
The floor is still open for contribution on the motion. Honorable YGS.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, so I would like to also contribute to the debates and then on the motion. And then I would just want to raise certain key issues that we have to look out for, or I want to speak on certain key issues regarding our free education. And then as the motion suggests that even though we have made some progress with the quality, or we've made some progress in education, I want to state that when we are talking about quality education, I believe we are looking at skills development, we are looking at the rates at which students graduate from schools and then are able to, solve basic issues and basic challenges that they face or confront with, right? So I'm just saying that in as much as free education has given opportunity for a lot of us to go and then giving opportunity for a lot of students to be enrolled and then partake in education, I believe there are still infrastructure challenges which hinder quality as suggested. We might be making progress, but I believe that free SHS still poses threats to the quality that every student requires in education. For example, when we are talking about the teacher to student ratio, we all believe and we all agree that the teacher to student ratio is really, really not good as compared to developed countries and even in Africa as compared to certain developing countries like South Africa, like Morocco, like Egypt and all those stuff, right? I believe Ghana still has a long way to go when it comes to quality, when you're looking at the teacher-student ratio. And I believe free SHS has worsened the case when it comes to that in regards to teacher-student ratio. I also believe that another issue that the free SHS has brought on the quality or has hindered the quality is with regards to the access of students to basic digital skills, right? Because there's lack of infrastructure regards to even classroom, even dormitories with materials to learn, and also even digital access. We are in a digital age now. I believe most of this free SHS is now putting more burden on government to even provide most of this infrastructure needs to schools. So students would have to, find a ways and means with the help of their parents to cater for this shortfall in education. So I believe in as much as free education has given us opportunity and given a lot of students opportunity to go to school, I believe it has also brought a lot of, financial burdens to the government, and then it's now moving the government focus from, providing certain basic infrastructure needs that will help, quality, will help improve the quality in terms of skills, in terms of, reasoning and all those stuffs, right? So I think that is one of the key issues that PSHS is giving to the government now, since government is now focusing on providing just paying for fees of students and then just seeing a lot of students go into the cycle, but they are not able to provide the necessary infrastructure, the necessary resources in terms of teachers, in terms of, classrooms and all those things, which will help boost, learning. And this also talks about the psychological effect that students are also going through. We cannot shy away from these things that is happening in the education system, right? So free SHS is good, but I believe the psychological effect that students are also going through when the double track came in has also reduced quality. Example, has also reduced quality of our education because students will also have to, find ways and means to, go to this double track, come back home, find some extra classes to go, and even the whole educational calendar was in a way altered and everything was all over the place. And then basically because the policy was not really thought through well, and then our leaders were just playing politics. We're just with whatever we are doing, and I believe that is also a negative effect to the quality of education that we require as a nation. So I believe moving forward, even though the policy is good, I believe we shouldn't be playing too much politics with it and then trying to score points with just introduction of a policy when we have not really thought through of all the challenges that it comes with and all the things that we as a country should put in place in terms of structure and systems in order to be able to implement this free education. I believe we are progressing, but I believe that the progress that we are expecting in our quality of our education, I believe we are not going at that pace and that we are not meeting that standard as compared to if we had opened up and then thought through the policy or before implementing it in a way. So that's my humble submission. Thank you, Honorable House.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Joseph.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, I raised my hand because I wanted to point an point of order concerning what my brother was saying with issue with digitalization and skills. And I think it means my brother is not current. My brother is not in the country. Because if we are talking about the quality of education in the aspect of digitalization and skill training, then my brother is not in the country. What brings about digitalization? That is why the government has thought of it and now brought tablet to school to students. Now my brother is talking about it has now leavened the burden of parents in order to buy materials. Now I just last week Saturday I just came from how do we call it a PTA meeting for SH from one of the secondary schools in Ghana, Maurice Senior High School, let me be specific. And it's the tablets are in, the students are using it. All the material resources that the students need are now on online, where there is a site that the how do you call it, the government has published all their learning resources, and the children has the access to download them and learn. So now there is the burden of carrying books. At first, where we need to go and buy the entire book, carrying it every day up and down, has now been taken off. Then it's now been replaced with digitalization. Now the students are learning through using the tablet. So digitalization, I was calling for a point of order. And my brother was also talking about double track. Yes, we know when the double track came, or when the double track was in the system, when the free SHS was launched and we're having double track, the quality wasn't there. But we are looking at the progress. How far are we going? How far have we gone? We are looking at the progress. So by the looking of the progress, now I believe the fact that the Ministry of Education is structuring the calendar to the point where we are going to have a single track system. Is structuring. Most of the schools that were running on double track has come to single track. Now, Get Fun are building schools. They are building classrooms, and I can point some of them. Some schools that personally I have gone there, witnessed the fact that how do you call it? Get Fun are building infrastructures there for the learners or for the teaching and learning to go through. So I believe the fact that in as much as the double track system was there, making things more comprehensive, or how do you call it, difficult, or making the quality in the free SHS not achieving. Now things are changing. That is why we are looking at how progressive has that thing been. So that was the 2 points of order that I was calling for. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Evans, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, so I just wanted to state that we all can't be we should be realistic, right? Our honorable is saying that when it comes to digital inclusion and then skills, the government has provided tablets too. But let's just be real, right? Like let's be real. How many students do we have? How many students do we have in our country with a free SHS, right? And how many tablets have been purchased or given to students? And even in these rural communities that we are talking about, how many of them are even able to, use this digital tools that we are providing? Let's just be real, and then let's just know that all this that we are talking about, right, it comes with cost, right, to the government. And I'm just saying that in as much as PSHS has brought, inclusivity to the education system, when it talks about quality, I believe that there's still shortage in terms of infrastructure, right? And I don't think the government, this tablet that the honorable is speaking of, I don't believe that in his hometown or in his where it's coming from, students will have access to it. But in other regions, there's also disparities. That is a fact on the ground, that there's disparity in terms of infrastructure. So the fact that someone in one region has access to the digital tablet doesn't mean somebody in the northern region or in the Tamale has access to those tablets. There is disparity when it comes to infrastructure and then this access resources that our honorable is speaking of. And I think this is the reality on the ground. And so we shouldn't be shy and then try to tickle ourselves just to show off that indeed we are doing well. We are not we have done well with the introduction of the policy, but I believe we have a long way to go when it comes to quality. And then even let's speak of, I think the best gauge of our quality will also be the enrollment into our tertiary institutions. You get it? There's a lot of infrastructure hindrance or infrastructure challenges when it comes to even our tertiary institution. Government is trying possible ways to help in this regard, but I believe that we still have a long way when it comes to quality. We might be progressing, but I'm saying that and stating that even though that we might be progressing, but I believe that we are progressing at a snail pace if compared to if there was a cushion from parents or there is a subsidy from parents to support the government in this education, I believe we would have been going far better in terms of our quality as compared to the free SHS that we have where government is paying all the bills. I believe that is what the motion is about, that we might be progressing, but I believe the progress will be a snail pace as compared to if the free SHS policy was thought well before it was brought into existence, right? I believe we would have been doing much better in terms of our quality as compared to what we are doing now. Thank you, Honorable House.
Thank you very much. I think your argument has triggered a lot of responses. Having heard from Honorable Asabia Teddy, I think she's a lady. Let's hear from Teddy.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Speaker and fellow honorable members. This is a very interesting motion we have here, and I'd really want to speak on just about two things that we are deceiving ourselves with, the fact that the quality of education in Ghana, that's Ghana's senior high school, under the free SHS policy, is showing measurable progress. It is not. I'll just talk about 2 points. First, I'll talk about the bureaucratic delays it has caused with decision making with regards to funding and disbursement, as well as allocation of resources. This is hindering, in fact, it is hindering the progressiveness of the whole policy. Look at the number of people we think we are enrolling in schools. Now we have to find extra money, we have to find extra funds to make sure that every need is met. And we are not getting it. So that is what brought about the double track. In fact, if we will be real to ourselves, it's part of the reasons we had to go for double track. Because some funds will delay, so we have to push this one day, then the next people will get the fund, and the other group will also, we're managing, trying to do, I don't know what word to use to qualify it, but we will use the small we have to push this side, and when we get new money, then we'll push the other side. That's what we're doing. I would actually commend the new government actually for the fact that they have enrolled some private schools on it. That is progressive, yes, I would admit. But trust you me, if we had allowed parents to actually pay for those who can pay, and those who can pay should pay for it, and then manage those who cannot pay, I think would have made better progress. Would have had better hands-on how do you call it? We would have had better hands-on way of implementing the free SHS and bring out, in fact, good leaders. The leaders we are bringing. I'm even wondering what kind of training we are giving the students. You see how it became quite rampant, how students were misbehaving. This just boils down to the issue of teacher-student ratio and the control teachers had over students. They were overwhelmed. So sometimes you just have to lead the students to do what they can do so that you can also manage the few that you have. After all, you, the teacher, you are also a human being. We are seeing the delays in their payments and all that, their salaries and all that, their benefits. Why would I stress myself to train somebody's child very well when my salary and other things are not coming? So it brought a huge financial burden, and we are not managing it well. We are not managing this well. So we can't say we are progressing. I won't buy into it. It's not anything we can say we are measurably progressing with this. There are a lot of cracks, and we need to set up and restructure the policy. Let's put the policy, let's take a good look at it, and then put things in place, and then we can say we are going on with this. But what we have now is not building the nation we look forward to having in future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ajiman Israel. Honorable Ajiman Israel. If Honorable Ajiman Israel is not ready, let's hear Honorable Wisdom Adams Adamte.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a very dicey question for the House, right, Honorable Speaker, members of the House. This is Wisdom Adams Adamte Yirokobo, Youth MP. I rise to firmly support the motion that this Honorable House believes that the quality of education in Ghana's senior high schools under the free SHS policy is showing miserable progress. Yes, when you talk about quality of education, we refer not only to that of what is taught in the classroom, but also how effectively students are learning, the accessibility of the educational resources, and a tangible outcome that reflect improvement. The free SHS policy, when it was introduced in 2017, by that time that was done with school, how has indeed brought significant measurable progress in all of these areas. One, it has increased access to improved educational equity and quality. Before the free SHS policy, many brilliant but needy students could not afford to attend senior high school. Let me use myself as an example. I completed my junior high school 2010 because of financial constraint. I have to wait for 5 years, for 4 years, 2014 before I could enter senior high. But if as at those times and we have free senior high school, I don't think I would have waited for 4 years to raise money for just a simple SHS. Today, the enrollment has more than doubled, with over 1 million students benefiting nationwide. This expansion has not diluted quality. Rather, it has created a more competitive learning environment where students from diverse backgrounds, poor, rich, can learn together, share ideas, and improve collectively. Quality of education is not only about exclusion, but inclusion. And free SHS has achieved that. We can all attest to it. Two, it has improved academic performance. This one, there's no way we can argue with it. Let us consider the measurable results. According to WAEC, the percentage of students scoring aggregate A1 to A6 in core mathematics, in core subjects like mathematics and English language and integrated has increased significantly since the introduction of the free SHS. For instance, when we cast our mind back to 2022 WASI results, it shows significantly over 60% of candidates obtaining credit passes in mathematics. And that was very marvelous. Gone are the days when students reach Form 3, the only thing they fear about is mathematics, the core mathematics, how they are going to maneuver their way to pass core mathematics. Compared to less than 45% before the policy was being implemented. This is not speculation. It is being measurable and it is data driven. Everyone can just have a research on it. 3, infrastructure development. Let me take my school as an example. My alma mater, Kulagogo Senior High School. I could remember when we were at school, Form 1, Form 2, we were learning under wooden structures. Yes. Those of you that know Kulagogo Senior High School, it's situated in YGS district, Kulagogo Senior High School. We used to learn, they used to learn under wooden structures. But because of the free SHS, now the school can boost up infrastructures. The school has story buildings, blah, 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 new ICT lab and stuff. I don't think if it wasn't about this free SHS, yes, the school can have one way or the other have an infrastructure, but it will not be as fast as what the free SHS has brought to the school. Further, the recruitment of teachers has increased because more students will be admitted. Hence, teachers who will be teaching them at the senior high school level has to be also increased. Thereby, it creates employment. Then my next point, measurable socioeconomic impact. Education is a driver of nationwide development, which we can all attest to it. The free SHS policy has reduced dropout rates. So it has bridged the gap between both genders, male and female, and it has increased the number of students qualifying for tertiary education. Gone are the days you can't even complete senior high school before enrolling yourself at the tertiary level. Registration fees will come out. If one way or the other you can't pay, you have to drop out from school. Yes, this shows measurable human capital development, which is a key indicator of educational quality. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, Mr. Speaker, measurable progress is not only seen in figures. We should all take note of it. Measurable progress is not only seen in figures, but also in a transformative impact of the policy on students, families, and community. The free SHS policy has improved access, enhanced academic outcomes, and it has expanded infrastructure. I just cited my alma mater, Kulagogo Senior High School, and modernized teaching. All clear indicators are a rising educational quality. We must acknowledge that yes, challenges exist. There's no way we can run away from it. But progress doesn't mean perfection. It means positive movement towards a higher standard. And the evidence shows that Ghana's education system is indeed improving under the free SHS policy. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, I strongly urge the House to support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Let's hear Honorable Ajiman Israel. Are you ready? Yeah, let's hear you.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My right to support a motion from the majority focus. And to support a motion, that the quality of education in Ghana's senior high schools under the free education is showing a measurable progress. Now, I'll build my point on three things. That is one, implementation, two, monitoring, and three, the impact. Now, since the base policy was launched in 2017, the SHS policy has enrolled over 1.3 million Ghanaian young people. And we all know that in a paid phase SHS running, it is very less to have these number of students enrolled in the SHS due to financial constraints. And it shows clearly that it has increased up to 60% in enrollment of young people, whether they have money or not. So it is something that I believe that it is a good thing, a good steps that Ghana has ever made. And we can, my colleagues can verify that from the Ministry of Education for the report. So, and also Edwards 2024. And also let me move to the monitoring aspect. Government through the GS has strengthened quality information, including new curriculum reforms, and also digital teacher training and national assessment tools to track learning outcomes. Studies from the University of Ghana 2022 confirm that academic performance in key subjects, that is, core subjects, is now being measured and publicly reported, showing growth and also accountability. Move to the input. In everything that we do, or any policy that we implement, we need to think of the impact of the policy on the people within the society or the people of the nation. And Mr. Speaker, I can clearly state that research by the International Growth Center 2024 shows improvement in population rates and cognitive outcomes, especially among students from low-income backgrounds. Over 2.5 million students have benefited from the policy of the free SHS policy since 2017. And the gender gap in SHS enrollment continues to narrow every year. And that means that we don't have any girl child here. All the women that we, during the fee-paid messages time, we do sunlight them, are now enrolled in the SHS, the free SHS policy. Given the gap to be closing each and every year. And in conclusion, free SHS is not without challenges, but its implementation, monitoring, and impact clearly shows that it is very, very making a positive impact on the Ghanaian students. It remains one of the Ghanaians' strong steps towards inclusive and quality education. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, may I advise that when you get the floor, try and do an ex-tempo presentation. When you are reading to us, it doesn't get as exciting as an ex-tempo presentation. As a youth parliament mimicking the national parliament, debates are to be done ex-tempo. You can have your points, and then you speak per the points, but don't read to us because it slows down the pace of the debate. So as we are learning, let's try and learn how to debate ex-tempo. You cannot debate by reading. You can only debate by points that you write. So let's take note of that and try and reach the standard. Thank you very much. Honorable Emmanuel Owusu-Boakye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the motion before the House actually been clarified And it occurs to me that our people from the other side is still struggling with the concept of the subjects before the House this evening. The motion is simple. Now this, I guess, suggests that the free SHS policy, the quality of education in Ghana senior high schools under the free SHS policy has actually made measurable progress. That is the motion before the House. And they are debating as to whether it is good or not, as to whether people that didn't get an opportunity to enter into school because of the access of free SHS are nothing to write home about. That is not the motion before the House. What we are talking about is that are there core determinants of the measurable progress this actually policy has given to the nation? And that is what we, the minority side, is saying, that this free SHS policy has yielded no better measurable progress. And these are actually highlighted in my points and my submissions to be relayed. One, there has been overcrowding and strained infrastructure just because of the introduction of this very free SHS policy. That has led to a surge in enrollment without in the number of infrastructure available at all the various senior high schools to the very number of students that has been enrolled does not correlate at all. There is a higher stressing and pressure on the very infrastructure available. Talking about the classrooms, it is actually overcrowded. Dormitories are congested. Facilities like library, laboratory, and restrooms, they are overstretched, all because of the introduction of this very free SHS policy. The intent is good, but the impact is what we are talking about. You cannot implement something with no better impact. That is, it means that you have actually shot yourself. You have actually shot yourself, and we will not condone such policy. All we are working and we are looking out for is the progressiveness of this very policy. You can also attest to the fact that quality education requires a very conducive environment and not just access. I can't work or I can't be in an institution or in a school where the environment impedes on my academic performance. A lot of senior high schools are actually suffering, all because they don't have the right sound of mind to learn because of the environment with which they find themselves and the conditions with which they find themselves. It is very, very appalling, and we must not condone that. The second point I would make is that I think one of my honorable members actually made a point that the teacher to student ratio, and I'd like to highlight on this in a short while. There is actually a decline in teacher to student ratio and teacher morale because there are more students and no corresponding increase in qualified teaching staff. The teacher to student ratio has actually worsened, all because teachers are overworked, they are under-resourced. We don't have the right, the quality, and the trained teachers to take these students through their 3 years of stay in senior high schools. And it will definitely result in poor academic performance. It is no surprising that when you compare the students that actually completed before the introduction of free SHS students to this, our modern students that actually came out with the free SHS, you can actually see the difference. The difference is so clear. For me, I remember I didn't benefit from free SHS. It is good, the implementation is good, but the impact is where the problem is. When I remember and I reflect on my years back in the senior high schools, I didn't enjoy free SHS. My kid sisters did. When I compare my time to their time, I realize that it's quite interesting. There was no pressure on the government to do what they cannot do. Everything was being given to us by our parents, and they made sure that we also learned. Now, because the government has taken has taken over of providing for the students, parents are relaxed because their money is not going into it. Parents are relaxed. They are not even urging their kids to bring out the best in them, to learn, and to come out with the right results. And this is because of the free SHS policy. I also want to state that there is also inadequate teaching and learning materials. You can attest to the fact that textbooks, lab equipment, and even teaching aids are mostly sufficient or delayed in most of our senior high schools. Some students are forced to actually share textbooks or go without, and this, as a result, will limit their ability to study effectively. Do you recommend this for your child? As a loving parent and as someone who actually wants the best for your kids, would you recommend when you know very well that you can actually take care of your kids? No responsible and no futuristic parent will do that. When you know very well that you can actually take care of your kids, to get to the right schools, get the best out of them, squeeze the best out of them, you rather give them into the hands of the government, or because there is free SHS. This is also appalling. We will not condone that, and we cannot condone that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Joseph Quayson.
Thank you, right, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I raised my hand because I was calling for point of order for my sister Asaba presentation that he made, or submission that he made. And thank you for this time, because I will have something to say about the recent honorable what he said. Right, Honorable Speaker, I think the fact that our two honorable members are no more in Ghana. It's as if they are living on a different continent and we are living in Ghana. Now, my sister was talking about the fact that the behavior of the students are not, how do we call it, appropriate. Let me use that word for her. And I was when she made that how do we call it, submission, I was asking myself, does my sister knows the difference between a policy and how do we call it, the regulation of an institution? This one he made, the question that he said, is not based on the free SHS, not because of the free SHS. It is, how do we call it, the ministry. It was what the ministry said, not because of the free SHS. The ministry, the education ministry, that said that, oh, they don't want the children to be caned. That is not about free SHS policy. It has nothing to do with the policy. And if my sister will be current, just recently, our how do you call it, honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Harun Ndrusu, made it practically plain that the head teachers are to take full responsibility regard to the behavior of the students in their schools. It means my sister is not current. She's not in Ghana. So you see, the children were behaving in that how do you call it, that immoral, let me say, uncultured character, based on what the ministry brought, not what the free SHS has brought. It's nothing about the policy. We are looking about the measurable policies, how do you call it, the measurable progress that the FHS have brought. It's not about the FHS that brought the fact that because the children are going to school free. So for now, because it is not there, it is not in the policy. It is not in the policy. The fact is that the free SHS policy didn't bring the fact that the children are not to be treated, they should be treated somehow or something. It is the ministry, the education ministry, that former how do you call it, Minister of Education brought the fact that the children supposed not to be caned, or they should not give them corporal punishment. But recently, Minister of Education said that no, the students are to be corrected. Minister of Education said it. It means my sister is not there. And my brother was also talking about infrastructure, was talking about how do we call it, other stuff. And I don't know. That's why I said it's assumed that these two people are not in the country. I don't know the number of schools that he has visited recently that is saying there is no infrastructure. Recently, by the grace of God, I am part of some organization that goes run of SHS. We go tour on SHS, make, how do you call it, programs for them. I've been to Bedibonso Senior Technical School. I've been to how do you call it, Ahantaman Girls. I've been to Porter Girls. Almost schools in the Western region, I've been there. Yeah, but the schools in the Central too, I've been to, how do we call it? Infantipim. I've been to St. Augustine. I've been to Unipra, Cape Coast, University Protest. I've been to some of the schools. And if my brother will be sincere and will be visiting schools, you will see the fact that they are building, infrastructures are being put in place. Students are no longer congested, as she is saying. It's never true. If you want the fact, visit the schools, you will see the fact. You see, if you sit in your comfort zones and you want to make an input with regards to this, and if you have not been on ground, you will say different thing. It is differently when you are saying things when you are not on ground, and differently when you are just saying it head wide. Let's be there. Me, I've been to these schools. I know what they are doing. I know there is massive infrastructure development in our secondary schools, and it's as a result of VSHS, because we acknowledge the fact that at the implementation of VSHS, there wasn't these structures, of which it brought the conjunctions, it brought the fact that the students were overcrowded. But now they are building. This is the progress we are talking about. We are looking about the progress. This is the progress we are talking about. So now the schools are being, they are adding infrastructure to what they already have, and this is progress. He was making the fact that we were not understanding the question or the debate, the motion, but I have realized the fact that he is not understanding the motion. We are saying, what are the progress? We were here yesterday. Now we are here. What are the progress? What have we been able to achieve? And all these things are clear. They are clear. If you visit schools, you will see the fact that the free SHS is bringing improvement. There are improvements in our SHS now. So, Honorable Speaker, I will say the fact that if we need facts, then we think we need to send these two honorable members to go on the field to go and check it themselves. He was also talking about teacher. He said there was no the fact that the students the number of people teaching them, the teachers are not sufficient to teach them. The teacher ratio was already high before free SHS. That one is there. But the fourth aspect is that he was talking about the quality of teacher training them. I don't know if he's in Ghana. Do you know the number of teachers that graduated 2024? Are you aware of the number of teachers that graduated 2023? I wanted to, if he were here, I would have allowed him to answer this. If you know the number of teachers that graduated 2023 and 2024 and even 2022, if you know the number of teachers, and 2022 people have been posted and they are working, and we are saying this fact. by November to how do you call it, January, the 2023 batch will also be posted. And by next year, September, the 2024 batch will also be posted. So what are you talking about? You see, when you don't have funds, you may say things as if it was old. Now we are looking at currently, what is the measuring progress have we made? So I think my brother needs to go and come back again. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Let's have Honorable Tete, then we'll have Honorable Charles, Daniel, and Felix. Honorable Tete, quick one.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think my honorable member, uh, Honorable Joseph, have said it all. I think our other opponents are not current. When it comes to infrastructure, now everything is clear and there have been an improvement. Things are changing. Gone are the days where the double track system is working. Now, I think double track is no more. So these are some of the improvements that are going on. And when it comes to a policy, you see, when you are climbing a ladder have to be climbed step by step. You cannot climb a ladder from the lowest step to the highest step. You faint and die. So the initial stage, gone are the days where they implement the policy. It was having some, it was lagging some qualities, but I think currently there have been improvements. And aside, we are talking about education for everyone, accessible for everyone. Everyone have to benefit. So I think my other opponents are not getting certain things clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Charles Adonu.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I've listened to a lot, and I think that uh, youth MPs are truly learning, and I'm very, very grateful. Mr. Speaker, you know, it is true that, frankly speaking, free SHS is showing measurable progress, right? But then we need to know that, one, education is supposed to be free because that's what the Constitution says. And if that is what the Constitution says, then let's do the due diligence. Mr. Speaker, sometimes when you are a master mind of an idea, you can be able to do whatever you want to do perfectly. Why am I saying this? Well, let me not go political, but then let me just be between. In 2012, the NDC says that they were going to make the education progressively free. But then the MPP said they were just coming to give us free education. So during their tenure of office, you realize all the things that happen and what also came about the double track and other stuffs where students don't even have places to go and sleep. Sometimes they stay at home for 4 months, goes back to campus for only 3 weeks. And there were so many things that really didn't go on well because they were not the masterminds of the idea. Like I said, the NDC in 2012 says that they were going to make the SHS progressively free. And it marvels me when I saw the motion that the free SHS policy is showing measurable progress. Right now, an honorable member said that the double track system, whatever they were going, is no longer there. One bad thing that happened was the fact that during NDC time, they really invested much into education, where they build this infrastructure.
Um,
Am I the only one who cannot
This
hear
block
him?
over
Or
that the previous administration, which is the MPP,
yeah, so now watch out. You're listening to you. Okay. I think Honorable Charles is having some issue with his network. Honorable Daniel, please be preparing. If we don't hear from him anytime soon, we'll call
but
it this week.
should rather go and commission. It should rather go and commission that which is the E block. Right now, we should even be thanking God that there is change in government, and now the double track that they brought forth is no longer there. Students, you barely hear them complaining that this, and this is going on. That is because the real mastermind behind the progressive SHS being free is now back to make things work together for the betterment of Ghanaians and the constitution. The part that says that the constitution that says that the education should be free. So I will say right now we are progressing because that is what the motion says, that the free policy is showing measurable progress. Gone are the days where the previous administrations just distorted everything. But now, what is going on? We are just, I would say that the NDC is just 11 months away. In Eve, over as Amedo Wabu for Hakbalao simply means that the night is not overdue to just uh, 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 blame the palm wine tapper. The people who are the masterminds behind the idea that we will make the education a progressive one, which will be free. Let's just allow them and anticipate. With in due time, all the projects that they began during the NDC time, all those projects they will be commissioned, which will give more room for students to go, and then the congestion that is going on will all be brought down. So right now, I didn't want honorable members to kill themselves much on the motion that right now the free SHS is not at all. There is nothing like, there is no progress. Let's just bear in mind that the person that brought the idea, the masterminds, they are now in government. Okay, so now let's look forward. Let's anticipate if they are truly the masterminds behind the idea that is going on. So, Mr. Speaker, tonight, I wouldn't say I'm for majority and I wouldn't say I'm for minority. But the one thing I will say is that let's just look forward. Let's anticipate. We are 9 months away. Let's see 3 years to come. Let's see 4 years to come, and see. Let's see if truly the promise that the NDC said they will do, they will deliver. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they will deliver. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for this great opportunity, and I wish all the honorable members very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Daniel Akaklo.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good evening to the House. I'll go straight to the point due to time limit. We have spent almost 2.5 hours so far. When the Honorable Joseph was speaking, I think he was stressing so much on a lot of points that he thinks is really, really working out because of things he has seen. forgetting that he cannot see the other side of the coin when you are standing from the tail side. Let me say this clear. They keep hammering. I don't know why they keep hammering that double track system is over. I really don't understand because as it stands now, double track is still in progress. It's still going on. I, my sister is part of that double track and she is currently home, coming to spend another three months at home before going back to school again. So I don't understand why you guys are stressing that double track is over. It's not yet over. It is still in progress. And secondly, Honorable Joseph was stressing on infrastructure, infrastructure. Please, infrastructure progress, it's either it is done or it is not done. And those who are doing it, you made mention that you are part of an organization that goes to SHS and builds for them and all themselves. Please, these are corporate social responsibilities for organizations. And these things have been in existence long before introduction of this policy. So you cannot just oppose what you are going through or what you are doing for some selected schools. All the schools you have mentioned so far, they are all class A schools. I know all of those schools, they are all class A schools. I know these things you are talking about because I am part of the media. I am a media practitioner and I've gone out to a lot of SHSs. And I can tell you most of these SHSs, their buildings or infrastructures are done by old students. Most of them are done either by old students or by an organization that comes to do corporate social responsibility or a philanthropist. It is less when it has to do with government or it has to do with get fund policy. So what you are talking about, I personally have covered a lot of these infrastructures. And the problem it comes with it that the moment you publish it in the media, I work with a media house. When you start publishing this in the media houses, they start sanctioning the head teachers of those schools. And so these are preventing them from bringing their problems out. We visited a lot of schools from Ekropon, Volta region, Eastern region, Western region. It's only Northern region I personally have not gone to yet. And so these are the things we are seeing, deteriorating nature of infrastructure. People are packed in schools, in dormitories as if they are sardines. And the dormitories are not things to even speak about. I will just cite two for you. If you like, you can go to St. Martin's at the, how do you call it? Nsawam right now. You can go to Ekropon right now. That one is even an eyesore. I was there as a man brought his child. After everything, they took the child to the dormitory. He just packed the child back to his car and he drove off. He said, going to look for another. Why? Because the dormitory is nothing to speak about. Why are we shielding ourselves? Why are we tickling ourselves to laugh? The progress, we need it and we want it. But as it stands now, it is not happening the way we want it. So what you are talking about is what you have seen, not what is on the ground. Let's talk about teacher-student ratio. You mentioned that 2023 batch has been posted, 2022 posted, 2024 will be posted soon. Bro, sorry for my language. Honorable, this is something you cannot debate. The teacher-student ratio is very, very minimal. Here in the case, those same teachers that will teach and have a rest during vacation and then teach later are no more teaching, having their rest. Why? Because the moment there is vacation for A, B is coming back to school, the same teachers will take care of them. So there's no rest for them. I have had a countless media engagement with these media institutions. So there's no way you are going to convince me that the teacher-student ratio is sorted. It is not. It is very, very problematic at the time. And let's talk about, you say, the free SHS policy. It is true that it has given access to a lot of people to go to school. Yes. But what comes out of that student after going to school? You made mention that somebody was less privileged, and so he has to wait for some time before going to school. Please, there has been a lot of scholarship programs for such people. Did the person sought that and didn't get it? It doesn't have to be free SHS, though free SHS has given access, but it has done more bad than good. No one is going to argue the fact that it has given access to a lot of people to go to school. But let's all accept the fact that when you keep in garbage into your PC system, the PC gives you garbage as a result. And that is the exact thing we are seeing in our WASI results and our BEC results. See, YA can give you the best statistics of A students and those who got A, those who got B, but please, let's go to the ground. Ghana Statistical Service can give you everything you need. It is not up to standard. It is not up to standard at GSS. It is very bad. How many teachers were not arrested? This just ended WASI and BC. How many teachers were not arrested with students for malpractices? Teachers were actually teaching them, like encouraging them with phones, with things inside exam hall. And these are people, because they want their subjects to go viral, they want their subjects to be passed and all these things. It is not giving us the ample time, or it's not giving us the focus to sit and learn as we used to do. Those days, you cannot get aggregate 40 and get school. No, you will not. So you also sit and learn because you want to pass through and go. Today, what it is, whether you pass or not, you will go. So there are people in SHS with aggregate 50, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, you can debate this. But if you get to the ground, you see there are people with aggregate 50 in SHS. What do you think that person will come out with? Let us be frank. It is high time we differentiate education from schooling. Everybody can school, but not everybody can get educated. We have different types of education. Let's identify the child. What is the child good of? Then we give it that kind of education. It is better than hovering everybody in the same basket and say, okay, go to school because school is free. What comes out of that child when it comes back? It's not bringing anything back home. Let's look at those that are coming out these days. You yourself, let's all assess it and just oppose it to the past where there was no free SHS. Everybody strives. Me, I will not even talk about the financial aspects because everybody's pocket is different. Even if we have to talk about the financial aspect, tell me how many ministers that have money have their children in government schools in this country. Tell me how many MPs have their children in government school. You will not see them. They are either in private schools that they pay high, some even pay in dollars, or they are outside the country in schools that they will come back and come and lead us. We are just tickling ourselves and fooling ourselves and laughing. It is high time we sit ourselves down and tell ourselves the truth. If it is progressive, it is good. If it is good enough, why are their children not enjoying it? Why are their children not sleeping in those kind of boarding houses? Why are their children not under those teacher-student relationship problem? Why are they not feeling the same pressure we are feeling? Please, this is not a topic for us to debate whether it is MPP or it is NDC. It is a topic for the progress of the youth of this country. If it is bad, it is bad. Let's call a spade a spade. If it is good, we will say it is good. Nobody is saying free SHS is not good. Free SHS is good. But the implementation is too bad. I will add the word too. It is too bad. And what we are doing to it is not yielding any fruit. Those there are some few that are really striving, but I will stress on the fact that there have been policies long ago concerning less privileges, needy, how do you call it, brilliance by needy students. They are funded by organizations. They are funded by what? GMPC. They are funded by Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. What do we need free HS for again? Even though it is good. Please, it is high time we stop tickling ourselves in the armpit and laugh. It is sweeter when your boyfriend tickles you and you laugh than you try tickling yourself. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make any fun. So let's as MPs, as policymakers, the youth in this parliament, let's put ourselves together and tell ourselves the truth. It is better to tell ourselves the truth than to wait for somebody to come and appraise us and give us something. No, Mr. Speaker, I will land here for now. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly have Honorable Joseph, then we'll have Honorable Felix.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for another opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I think the fact that our honorable members on the other side, I don't know, I think they need to check the education system again and check their English again. They are still not understanding what we are talking about. I will stress that point. They are still not understanding. You see, our honorable who just finished his presentation or delivery said the fact that we are making progress. That is what we are looking for. You see, if we were, when the policy started, we were 1, and today we are at 5. That is what we are looking at. We are looking at progress. You see, we can't compare ourselves to the advanced countries that they are having everything at the disposal of the at just their next disposed. You see, we are developing country, and the policy has come. We all agree the fact that when the policy came, there wasn't preparation towards it. But now there is a progress. I don't want you to make it political. I don't want to go whether sorry, I don't want you to go whether at the past administration or current administration. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go who is at fault, who is doing this. I don't want, we are not making this political. We are making it as a nation. There wasn't, now there is. Our honorable member said the fact that he's a media personnel. I'm also a media personnel. If he doesn't know, I'm also a media personnel. And he's also making the fact that how do you call it? Others are sleeping under the they are congested, they are blah blah blah. Some the schools that they have, there is much development. It's as a result of old students, it's as a result of how do you call it, PTA or whatever. But our honorable member has forgotten the fact that when we talk about school, we have stakeholders, and all of them form part of the stakeholder. The PTA form part of the stakeholders, the old student form part of the stakeholders, and all these people make parts or make improvements. They bring improvement to the school. So the school wasn't having a library. And now when the old students have seen, oh, now school has admitted a whole lot of people and the library is not good for them, it's not helping them. Now as an old student, we have come together, we have been able to build a library for the students. This is progress. In as much as they have handed the library over to the school, it is now the property of the school, not the property of the old students. This is the progress we are talking about. We are talking about progress. We were 1, we are now at 2. Now, what is the progress? I'm a teacher. I teach a student. We gave last 2 weeks, I gave an exercise. My students were able to get 5. This week, I have given them an exercise. And per assessment, they have now gotten 10. There is a 5% increment. This is progress. It means there is progress. That is what we want minority to know. The other side of the house, we want them to know that in as much as there is challenges going on, we all know there are challenges regard to this free SHS, but there is progress. There is measurable progress. The progress can be measured. It can be seen. We can see it. There is getting there. We are not there at all. We are not there, but we are getting there. That is what we want the other side to know. The debate, the emotion on the house is saying that house believe the fact that the free SHS is making measurable progress, and that is what we are all looking at. So if you come and tell me if you admit the fact that there is progress and we are now lamenting about the progress, then you don't understand what we are talking about. So I want them to understand the fact that we are saying, is it making progress or is not? Now there is progress. That is what they need to know. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much. Honorable Felix.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and a very good evening. Thanks for your time. I would like to raise a point of order and draw my learned colleagues their attention to some things that they have been speaking of. I thank my very brother, Honorable Joseph Christian, for his submission. Honorable Speaker, other side, we're talking about the fact that and also they were talking about the teacher ratio system, and also Honorable Daniel also make the fact about the the final exams and the malpractice and other stuff. And I'd like to draw the attention to one or two things that goes on in the SHS, even before the introduction of the free SHS. I wasn't the product of the free SHS, I was in the SHS around 2011. And Honorable Speaker, we all testified to the fact that there were indiscipline there, even before the introduction of free SHS. But it went on high because of what Honorable Joseph was talking about. Some policies that maybe the previous government brought about that we had to speak about, or I've seen this current government bringing up different policies concerning those policies that were introduced that brought about the indiscipline, but not the free SHS. I think they should note that fact. And talking of the student-teacher ratio, because of the going high because of the free SHS, I think they should visit that again, because even before the introduction of free SHS, there were that high student-teacher ratio, and also there have been some improvements because there have been works that are done. I am a teacher myself. I have my wife and my senior brothers been teaching also in the senior high school, and I can testify that every level has its own teachers. There are teachers that goes home and rest when maybe the second years are in the house. As the second years are in the house, there are teachers that are not teaching at all. I testify to that fact because I am a teacher myself. And when the first years are also not in, there are teachers that are resting, that are on vacation, that are resting because there are no first years in the school. And when the third years leaves also, there are teachers that are resting. I don't know if they have not drawn their attention to that, but I know because I'm in that field. And two, we are talking about the double track system. I want our other side to understand there is a difference between the double track and the shift system. When we talk of the shift system, it is when people of the same level, which is, let's take it to be Form 2, some are in the school and others are in the house, because the gold and the system, I think you remember that. That is no more. But the double track is the whole of Form 2s are in the house, Form 1s are in school. That's what we call the double track system, right? Yeah, we do. Just recently, the tertiary, the college of education, were practicing that system too. the level 100s and level 200s will be in school, level 400, level 300s will be in the house. We're practicing that. And now I think it's no more because of the in-out system. So there's no shift system that we have the gold, we have the green, and the same level. Some will be in the house and some will be in the school. Honorable Daniel should visit that statement again and check his sister. Maybe it's the level, a double track thing. That's the level. The whole level is in the house. Some are not in the school getting access to education, while some enjoy few hours in teaching. No, that is out of the system now. So they should check it again. And talking about malpractices have been there since immemorial, since Adam and Eve time. There have been malpractices in the SHS, in the WASI and the BEC. You can't associate the malpractices to free SHS alone. I am a teacher, but I stand against that, and teachers need to bow their heads in shame, going around for papers and writing papers and answers for students when they are writing their final exams. But let's talk of this. If someone comes out not with flying colors, doesn't pass his final exams, you can't attribute that to the free SHS, because there are some people that have phobia to final exam. They perform well in class, understand, but when it comes to final exams, they are phobia to that. Yes, I am part of those people. So you can't testify my failure to just no. There are people that are learning. You can't testify that fact to free SHS, that because of free SHS there have been malpractice or there have been people failing in the final exams. No, he was talking about a difference between education and schooling. Now let's talk of it. When the free SHS policy was coming into existence, when they were bringing into existence, they empowered also TVET, because they saw that not all students can go into maybe the SHS, but some can do the technical and the vocational aspect, that's the skills. So they also empowered the TVET, and many people went to that. I have most of my students that passed through the TVET, and they are doing well in the field and with their skill trainings and other stuff that they got. The previous government also brought the STEM education to empower the ladies, to empower some of our young students in other fields, training them in engineering and other stuff. And it's a plus to that, plus of the free SHS. So I think they must go into it again and look at it. Honorable Daniel was stating the fact that because the free SHS is not good, that's why most government officials are sending their awards out for schooling. It's never true. We are in Ghana here, and we know we can just go and through the biography of our leaders and their awards. If almost 90% of them doesn't have their secondary and tertiary education in Ghana. Even when it comes to the health, they go to hospitals outside. We all know we shouldn't attribute this to the free SHS, that because the education system is not good, that's why they aren't training their wards in Ghana. No, they have been doing that even before the introduction of free SHS. So let's not attribute it that because the free SHS is not good, that's why our government officials are training their wards outside. They have their capacity and they want to train their wards outside. That's what they are doing. Even as that we are here, if we have the capacity and we can train our wards outside, I rather prefer taking my ward outside, not because of the free SHS, but because of maybe one or two things in the education system that has been in existence since, that has not been looked at. So I think they must look at these things and reconstruct themselves and join us in the motion that we are having some measurable achievements when it comes to the introduction of the free SHS. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I believe we have debated enough, so we'll take concluding statements, concluding remarks. We'll take that of the majority leader. Then I was told that his deputy will deliver the concluding statement or remarks on his behalf. Honorable Gideon Julius Agoa, concluding remarks.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm grateful for the rightful opportunity. Honorable Speaker, before I give my concluding remarks, I would like to thank the whole Ghana for their support towards our recent past Ubuntu Festival. As an MP from the Anglo constituency, I'm very grateful for the support, and all those who participated and all those who couldn't participate. Next year, Ubuntu is going to be mega, and then I'm inviting all honorable members to that regard. Right, Honorable Speaker, this topic is one that we have to look at from the focal length of our future, and not to speak in a way to run away from the truth. The truth is that this free SHS policy was forced on Ghanaians. The education system never had the capacity to roll out this policy, but a government came and forced this policy on Ghanaians. I'm a product of the free SHS policy, and the hurdles I went through never gave me any indication that there is progress as to the education system with respect to free SHS. Free SHS has given the opportunity to all Ghanaians, but then the best of education, the best of knowledge that we should have, one, because of the pressure on our teachers, they never give us the attention. Me, my commerce teacher told me that, see, we should find ways to help ourselves because there's nothing he's going to do to help us. Looking at the workload on them. And Mr. Speaker, I won't run away from the effect of the behavior of that teacher. And then I don't blame him too, but I blame the policy. So when we are talking of the free SHS policy, it has created wounds perpetual wounds on those who have passed the system. And Mr. Speaker, I don't know how soon they can recover from those wounds. So let us not stand or take this platform and just mention that, oh, this the free SHS has done us good. It is giving progress. What is the progress? What is the progress that we are seeing? Where we have to fight in dining halls over food. What is the progress? Where little, even the sauce that we have to eat with the rice or the wache is diluted to the extent that sometimes up from the dining hall, you have to run to the toilet. Excuse my word, right, Honorable Speaker. So let's not our people use this evening as an opportunity to say that, oh, see, this education is the pivot to a nation's development. And so when it comes to education, let us look at it from that focal point and let us treat it as if the future that we are looking for, the future that we are fighting for, we really mean it. If we really mean the future we are fighting for, then we have to tell the truth, as at this point, that this free SHS policy had not shown any progress. We cannot see any progress in this policy. I'm not speaking because I'm from the majority. I'm a victim of the free SHS. You look at quality of education of those who pass the normal stream, and then looking at myself, who went through, the records are clear. And even people who are exiting, people who are leaving, those who just wrote their WASI. Right, Honorable Speaker, education is a right and not a privilege. And so when you look at the Article 25 Clause 1, and then when you look at B of Article 25 Clause 1B, It says that secondary education in its different forms, including technical and vocational education, shall be made generally available and accessible to all by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free SHS. Mr. Speaker, I heard one of the presenters, I think Honorable Charles, he mentioned how an administration or a government look at it in the progressive means, but then another government came and forced it on Ghanaians. Right, Honorable Speaker, and we are not reaping any good fruit from this policy. Right, Honorable Speaker, you know, the free SHS policy has not shown any improvement. And that is the fact. And let's all colleagues in this house speak to the truth that even external educationists lost hope in Ghanaian education. They cannot trust they don't trust the system anymore because the system is bad. The system is very, very bad. It's very bad. So, Right Honorable Speaker, this policy has not shown. If there was progress, can't we see? We cannot see it. We cannot see it. If there is any progress so far, we can all see it. And I will not sit here this evening and say otherwise. If there is progress, we cannot see it. And so, in conclusion, there was one president, an African president, but then I'm just finding it difficult to mention his name. If not Singapore, a former president of Singapore, he was once asked that how or what was your technique to the development of Singapore? And he mentioned education, education, education. He said education, education, education. And if we Ghanaians, we cannot build systems and structures that can support the free SHS policy, and this evening we will all be here, or the minority will be here and be mentioning that we can see the progress. That is to mention the progress. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I also thank my majority leader for relinquishing his authority for me to summarize the debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Point of correction, he didn't relinquish his authority to you. He only acted in his step. He still has his full authority.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I was speaking.
Yes. Deputy Minority Leader, concluding remarks. Is Honorable Emmanuel here? Yeah.
Yes, please, Honorable. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity to submit the concluding remarks. First, I would like to thank all honorable members for showing up for this very sitting. It has been such an interesting debate and communication on matters important to the betterment of our nation. We have all understood the concept on ground. Nevertheless, we, the minority side, will still want to reiterate that the quality of education in Ghana senior high schools and that this very free SHS policy has actually not shown any measurable progress. Although the policy has actually increased access to education, it has also brought a lot of challenges that have compromised the quality of our education. And we will not sit here just to admit the enormous enrollment in our education system at the expense of the quality that it brings forth. We will not do that. Just like my able chief whip said, Honorable Daniel said, we will call a spade a spade. It is interesting to note that this very free SHS policy, the disadvantages that we already made mention, that is actually brought about overcrowded classrooms, to inadequate infrastructure, insufficient teaching materials, and the declining of academic standards. These are evidence that actually speaks for itself. These are the reality on ground. And for this reason, we cannot claim success when the foundation of our education system is dwindling. In other words, is crumbling. This is nothing to write home about. Therefore, I would urge us all that we should work towards finding solutions to these challenges and ensuring that our students receive the quality of education that our country needs. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, I now put the question to the House. All honorable members in favor of this motion say aye. All honorable members in favor of this motion say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor of this motion say nay.
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 I think I'll put the question again. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, honorable members, order. At the conclusion of the debate, I now put the question to the House on the motion. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor of the motion say nay.
Nay.
Honorable members, the nays have it. The motion does not carry.
My papa has run away, would have leave me here.
Honorable
Honorable members,
Joseph, sorry for the night.
the nays have it. The motion does not carry. Therefore, this House does not believe that the quality of education in Ghana's SHS and at the free SHS is showing a measurable progress. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
You are welcome. You are welcome, Honorable.
Honorable members, we'll move to the other businesses. The members who want to read their statements around. So, for the attention of the House, today, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable George Opariado, presented the State of the Youth Address at the Ministry of Labor conference room. And he stated a lot of things. Statistics adds to the true state of youth development and empowerment, talking about the challenges confronting, issues of drug abuse, and other matters of concern. I hope members watched it. Members who are yet to watch it can go and watch it. Now, moving to the next business is the deliberation. Honorable members, we wish to hold a joint sitting with Youth Impact Parliament, physical joint sitting with Youth Impact Parliament in January 2026. Youth Impact Parliament operates in Ho. Therefore, holding joint sitting with them means going to Ho for their proceedings. The last time we discussed this, unfortunately, it wasn't able to come into place. But this time around, we are hoping that this joint sitting will materialize. If I may ask, how many members will be able to transport themselves to Ho in January for the joint sitting?
Well, if that would be January, I guess.
Yes, January 2026.
We will do our best to attend. I will do my best to attend. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I just want to be sure the House is in agreement with it. So I think I'll just put the question on the proposal for a joint sitting with Youth Impact Parliament in January 2026. All members in favor of this proposal say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, say nay. The ayes have it. The proposal carries. So we'll discuss with Youth Impact Parliament to know the actual date and how we can contribute to it. For joint sittings, the speaker of both parliaments preside together, and their clerks and deputy clerks sit at the clerk table. And then one house of the house, one side or one chamber can take the majority side, the other chamber can take the minority side. And since obviously our house will be smaller in number, we can take the minority side, and then Youth Impact Parliament can take the majority side. So when the date is ready, we'll share with members for members to prepare. Honorable members, are there any questions? Maybe inquiries members wish to make? Yes, Honorable Joseph.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to know the update of the appointment letter. The last time we had a meeting, we were informed, the House was informed that by the end of October, and we are in November now. So I want to know the update of the appointment letter. Thank you. Right,
Yes,
Honorable
you are
Speaker.
right. Yes, you are right. You are right about that. The House was updated. That after we finish the complementary list, that will be done. But unfortunately, people were still adding their names. So right after this sitting, we'll finish up with the complementary list. And then they can start working on the appointment letters. And then we'll also start compiling the committee of interest that members wish to serve on. So when we finish up and we share the data with the people doing the letter, who knows, before the end of November, the appointment letters will be ready. So let's take note of that. Let's take
All
note
right,
of that.
Honorable. All right, thank you, Honorable.
Honorable members, if we are able to properly organize ourselves, next year, probably in the second session, we can actually pay a courtesy call we can actually pay a visit to Parliament of Ghana to introduce ourselves to them as the Youth Parliament. So if members can organize themselves better by next year in the second meeting of the Parliament of Ghana, we can go there and visit Parliament, see proceedings and stuff. I think this group since 2023 have not been able to go to Parliament, but who knows? If we are able to better organize ourselves. When I say organize ourselves, what I mean is that as of now, what happens is that the entire finances of the entire organization is on the global president, which means if she's not available, we cannot do anything. In the last parliament, we're suggesting that members can consider as finding means to raise money to support the activities of the House. When that happens, we wouldn't even need to depend on the global president to function. So I think we can look at that. When we are able to get some funding for our activities, we should be able to do things without necessarily waiting on the finances of the global president. So let's look at that. If we're able to organize ourselves better with that, we can pay a courtesy call on the speaker, have training session at the Parliamentary Training Institute, observe sittings of Parliament and interact with members of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Yeah. Yeah, so that is for our attention. If there are no questions, then we'll move to announcements. Honorable members, as you are aware, the global president is planning for a program around, is it 20th of December? Around that time, it's supposed to be something like a diplomatic ball. A diplomatic ball, that is what she's working on. And they are hoping to also launch the African Youth Parliament at that occasion. So members can start putting it on their plans to attend such a thing. It might have a cost implication in terms of tickets in order to raise funds for such a program. But whatsoever be the case, we'll be seeing flyers to that effect when the arrangements are ready. I think with respect to the issue of the youth ministers and youth justice, we should have more youth ministers coming around to ask questions. But I think they would need a little bit of a reshuffle. So I will recommend to the youth president to do that. And I think, which other issue have I forgotten? Flyer, honor members. It would be nice to have flyer for all members of parliament. It would be very nice to have flyer for all members of parliament. We need someone to volunteer to design flyers for us as a house. So I'm calling on members to look through for a volunteer who will be ready to design flyers for us. If we can get such a volunteer, he can do flyer for the leaders and then do for all members of parliament. And anytime we have programs as a youth parliament, that can be done. So members, please scout for possible people who can design flyers for us. We really need someone to help us with respect to that. We need someone to help us with respect to that. Honorable members, we are getting to the adjournment of this house. I now call on motion for adjournment. Motion for adjournment. Yes, Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Before I move the motion for the adjournment, I will say that when you were speaking concerning the announcement, my network went off, but then that is not the main issue. What I want to say is that I couldn't hear you, but then there are so many of our colleagues that couldn't join. Some joined, but they couldn't continue to this point. So if the announcements can be published formally, so that all of us can, or those who were able to participate and the non-participants too, can benefit from that. And on that note, I, Agoha Gideon, the Deputy Majority Leader for this noble parliament, move a motion for the adjournment of today's sitting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Point well taken. Seconder to the motion. Yes, Honorable Joseph.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Honorable Joseph Kwesin, the Youth MP for Hunter West constituency, and I would like to second the motion that the House adjourn for today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded for the adjournment of this House. All members in favor of this motion, say aye.
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 Not in favor of this motion, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, this Honorable House stands adjourned till our fourth parliamentary sitting. That will be held by December. I therefore rule. This House do not stand adjourned. I thank you. Have a good night.